Hi, everybody. Am I live?
Oh no,
They
are you
changed
are you,
this.
are,
They
you
have,
Memorex?
they've changed the studio, and I've not had a chance to play with this, and consequently, I'm assuming that I am on the air because
Well,
it
you're
says
live, and I
end
just got a
stream.
notification you're live
Yeah,
as well.
good.
So,
Yeah, this is going to be very interesting. I am trying to do some screen sharing, but that doesn't seem to be working out so well. Uh, so sorry about this. I'm getting this off to such a miserable start. And where are you on the screen, Bronk?
I'm here. It looks the same screen as it always looks to
Isn't
me.
that funny? That's funny as hell.
Don't look any different.
Yeah. All right. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go the old methodology and say, hi, welcome to Moohead Radio. I'm your host, Big Fur Robot. Okay. And the thing I want to talk about first on the program, yesterday's win over the Atlanta Falcons. And
Yeah.
Who gives a shit about the Hawks? I mean,
the Braves.
well, the Braves at least have money. I don't even know what the Atlanta has.
Well, they don't even have Clint Capello and Bogdanovich playing anymore, so God knows, man.
Yeah,
they're all hurt.
Oh, and Steven's in here too. Hi, Steven. How you doing?
That's
I'm doing okay.
Look, good.
Sorry about that. I had to adjust my camera.
Yeah, life in prison's tough, isn't it, Steven?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, the sisters have got him already.
Ha 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 ha. Well, I guess
I'd like to say that Andy put up the good fight.
He didn't.
Hey, so I guess Justin Tucker will be joining us soon. You know, he's got the Deshaun Watson treatment.
Well, we'll talk about
that.
That is going to come up today, but I wanted to start out with the Cavaliers because they won again.
It's all hands on deck today.
And I want to present a screen, if it's going to let me do it, share screen. And we're going to, okay, well, we'll see how this goes. I'm hoping that this will work. Let me know if you're seeing this.
Cleveland 64, Atlanta 64.
Excellent. So this is I'm doing it the old school way, and thank God it's working. The situation is Atlanta has cut the lead to 10 points, and the NBA officials smell that, there could be something good brewing for the Hawks. They've beaten them twice this year. What can we do to fuck Cleveland? And then
fuck you at the drive-thru.
We end up with this abortion of a play. Here's Trae Young.
Oh, God.
And here we go.
And Garland commits the foul, takes a shot to the head.
Again.
What a dirty play.
And they called it a garbage.
Watch his reaction after he does it. First, there was this nice move by Mobley, which is nice to see right here. And bang!
Anytime there's contact above the shoulders,
and watch his reaction right after he does it.
There is cause for concern. He went through it last
There's
year,
no concern on his part, and I'll go back to the beginning of this.
He told me earlier
and you'll see how he walks away nonchalantly after doing it. Watch this. I mean, this is pathetic. No, I'm sorry. Are you okay? Now,
to the head.
And when does it happen? On the fucking night that Garland makes the All-Star team and Trae Young gets rebuffed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he should be thrown out of the league for that.
You can't tell me that this isn't intentional. He should have been thrown out of the game. He should have been suspended because what happens here is we have unequal justice. All right. Because now I'm going to show you something else. And we're going to stop sharing that screen and we're going to share another screen with you. And I know that it will make you so happy. All right. And share screen. I'm here. All right. Here's Beef Stewart of the Pistons. Now, we beat the Pistons the game before, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
All right. So now we're going to take a look at Beef Stewart, Isaiah Stewart of the Pistons, and somebody tell me how this is different than what Şengün did to Jared Allen. All right.
Okay.
So here we go.
Here we go. We're going. Whoa.
Yeah. Whoa.
Except they immediately ejected him out of the game. It's his sixth flagrant of the year. He's suspended. Now, and he just moseys right off the court, but he gets thrown out. But not Şengün. Not when it happens against the Cavs. Fuck no.
Wow.
Now,
Grim.
somebody tell me where the consistency is in this.
Crickets. No idea.
Look at that. Look at that.
Boom. Wow. That's
That's exactly what Şengün did. The exact same thing.
Yeah.
So now this is what we deal with in Cleveland is it isn't enough to win. All right. It isn't enough to win. I'm sorry to hear that, John, but I think you're probably best off in the hospital. But do let us know what's going on, my friend, please.
Oh, please do.
Yeah. I mean, we are all praying for you. Believe me.
Absolutely.
And all Mooheads are family. Yeah. Please keep me informed and keep people on the show here informed because we're concerned about you. But it just seems to me that the victims are just teams or players who don't have any standing in the league. And it's been just total consternation that Trae Young, the little midget insect, draws fouls in the most ludicrous ways.
Oh, God, yeah.
But to call that a foul on Darius Garland, let me cover what Atlanta Hawks fans or other anti-Cleveland forces would say. All right, if you want to say that he stuck his chest out and bumped lightly against Trae Young, that was the impetus for Trae Young to start heading out of bounds. All right. Well, I'll even give you that, even though I've seen it done. I saw it done to Donovan Mitchell at the end of a game where he missed the last second three, where they banged him out of bounds, and it didn't make any goddamn bit of difference. It's the same thing. But still, the thing that kills me is he throws that elbow. Yeah. And he threw it in a way, knowing damn well the guy had a broken jaw the year before.
100%.
And the envy of not making the All-Star team because that guy did, and I'm going to break his fucking jaw again.
Yeah.
And
no, I'm totally agree. I think there should be a flagrant 3 foul where you get suspended. You know,
I think there comes a point if it's only halfway through the season and you've already committed 6 flagrant fouls like Isaiah Stewart, you should be out of the league. I'm sorry. I'm not to build brand new, Draymond Greens of the future.
Right.
Not interested in that.
Or what about just for the remainder of the season? It
should be up to the league when they reinstate him.
Yeah, indefinite suspension where you have to reapply to the fucking commissioner, like they do in the NFL and other.
Yeah, or you just get suspended
leagues.
for the remainder of the season, and then you have to come back next year. Yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah,
but it's realistically, it
never going to happen.
There's an unequal standard here that the the no-name, non-all-star player, whether it's of the present or the past, can get away with walking 3 steps with the ball, shoving off with their forearm, elbowing people in the face, or throwing them down to the floor.
Right.
They can just, they have carte blanche. And again, people say, why is NBA viewership down? Because in a game like this, they were opening the door for the Hawks to come back.
Yeah.
And they ignored something so flagrant that it was obvious what they've been told to do. It's ruined professional sports. And they're looking at the point difference. And I'll tell you that, watching the TNT announcers making excuses for the Hawks. Well, they don't have Johnson in, and,
Correct. Yeah.
It's like, well, what about us? We've been going through a stretch here where you've been saying, it looks like Cleveland's losing their grip here. And we've gone through injuries to a bunch of our players.
Yeah.
Sickness spreading on our bench.
Yeah, flu and bad knees and bad whatever.
Shoulder joints and you name
joints
it.
and
But why TNT, and so they went on their private sucking Risa Shea's dick. And I'm going to say Risa Shea's a very fine young player.
Yeah, he's a great kid. Yeah.
I love the move where he went baseline, switched from his right to his left and floated it in. And he's got a nice looking stroke from outside. He's going to get nothing but stronger. And he's got length. He can do all kinds of things. Super player. But, enough flowers you throw at him. It's like the coach took Risa Shea out of the game for a long period of time, and I'm not exactly sure why. He put him back on the drug time, and I don't understand that at all. I don't think that would have made a difference with the Cavaliers playing the defense that they were playing, and this team can't even dream about being as good as the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah.
And it takes time when you see new things to get adjusted. And we were doing this without important pieces from our bench. But you saw there was no problem as far as tossing the ball right into the paint in that second quarter to get that halftime lead up and just going down low. And just between Mobley and, boy, what a fast break. The no-look pass from Donovan Mitchell to Evan Mobley resulting in the left-handed slam over a guy. To me, I was sitting and watching and saying, oh, this is a classic example of one of the many close to 500 teams in the National Basketball Association facing one of the elite teams. And that's what I walk away with. But it's still, there's just no excuse why the officials are doing things like this. But 135 to 115 speaks volumes. They tried to run. Quinn Snyder was saying, you got to run. And well, you just run the fuck out of the building. Don't injure my players. Get the fuck out of here. If you're not good enough to win, you're not good enough to injure people. Just get out. And they tried right after that timeout to run, and they just got crushed because they couldn't finish anything, because the Cavaliers are starting to play serious defense now because of the great job that Kenny Atkinson's doing.
Yeah, I mean, Tyson's improved dramatically before our very eyes. I mean, he was absolutely shocking about a month ago, and now he's sort of holding his own, at least defensively,
well,
and harassing people.
What I can say about Tyson is that he's a worker, and he is like nowhere near a finished product. Nowhere near.
Obviously, yeah.
And he needs to work on his 3-point shot. He had a couple of from the corner that were wide open that he's got to make those. He did show a little running right hand down the lane thing twice. And, I think that he is playing hard defense. He gets called for a lot of fouls because he's a rookie player, and he hasn't earned the right in the eyes of these cheating officials to be able to get away with what other people who are defensive players of the year over the past
routinely get away with. Yeah,
routinely get away with. That's right.
Yeah.
But
I get that.
But we'll see what his upside is. We'll see what Tyson's upside is, because he's going to keep working. He's got an off season to build his body up. And the thing with that I like about him is that he had it right coming into the league, because what he said was, I know that the only way I make this roster is if I'm a do everything guy and play rugged defense, play hard and physically, and which is great. He doesn't have tremendous height, but when he does put the ball on the floor, he does have the ability to pass, because in college, he was a guy who was playing out front. He was handling the ball and shooting a lot. Was not a huge high percentage shooter in college, and you can see why. He needs to work like so many young players. You get a guy like Ricochet, and even he in the first half of the year.
Yeah, he's raw too. Yeah.
Well, he was having trouble making threes at a very good clip at the beginning of the year. And that now it's starting to make sense. The speed of the game is coming to him. And I think
number 1 pick or number 2 pick, or
he was the number 1 pick.
Number 1.
And I mean, you can't imagine how good that you would be to be 19 and step in directly into the NBA from France. You have no idea. This guy is really, really good. But there's a learning curve to make it in the league.
The development of European players is so much different from the development of American players. And now these leagues are important in France and Turkey and all these other countries, and they're developing kids through an academy system. And I could go on and on about this, but eventually the NBA is going to have more players from Europe, than it does now. Let's just leave it at that.
And this bothers me too, when local media doesn't get it. On Cleveland.com, a headline: Cavs continue their redemption arc by trouncing the Hawks. I mean, redemption for losing a few games due to injury and shortages of staff.
Back-to-backs and all that shit.
Yeah, blow me. I mean, for God's sakes, their redemption arc. They're not playing for your redemption, you stupid fuck. That's Ethan Sands.
You did well not listening to WTAM the other night, because they had Terry Pluto on as one of the guests, and he was trying to make baseball analogies to the basketball thing, and it was just like, oh my God, what am I listening to here?
Well, the time will come when I will spill all the beans.
Okay, I didn't mean that to be today, but anyway.
No, but there will come a day. But believe me when I say I respect sources, and I don't step on sources. There will be a time, I promise you, before I'm finished with this program, there will be a time for me to do that. Then this great headline: Suns' Devin Booker supports expanding the All-Star game rosters. Well, of course, he didn't make the team.
Yeah, he gets more money.
We got a good long look at the Phoenix Suns and Devin Booker, and he didn't try. The team didn't try. He puts up easy points, talented scorer, but there's no drive there. Why should he be an all-star when he's just a chucker, in essence? He's just going out for a shot.
You're a bit garbled there, I think, there.
Yeah, I don't know what's causing that. If it's a feedback,
it might be Steven or something. I don't know.
Yeah, Steven. He muted his mic, so I think that might be what's.
Yeah, he might not have headphones on or something. I don't know.
Right. But of course he wants to expand the All-Star Game roster so he can grab more fame for himself and still not have to work very hard. But I thought he looked real lazy, and that whole team looked real lazy.
Oh,
and
we bitch slapped them something chronic when we played them.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was some kind of thing. Now, next, I would be remiss if you want to talk about a lousy week for figure skating.
Oh God, Dick Button even.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, between that and the aircraft crash,
Tragic.
absolute tragedy, absolute
Yeah.
tragedy. And Dick Button, if you don't, there's a lot of people who probably don't know who Dick Button even was.
He was sort of like the Dickie V of ice skating. Let's put it that way.
Well, actually, he was the greatest skater in the world, 1948 Olympics, 52 Olympics.
Yeah.
And he became much more known for his ABC Olympic commentary about the free skating competitions, the pairs skating, and the women's skating. He was extremely opinionated, but he was always wearing his bow tie in a real classy way, but he would always end up saying something like, and he was kind of prissy sounding. So
absolutely.
And I'm not making any suggestions. I really don't know it.
You do. You want to tread lightly here, I think, probably.
No. But I mean, there are some people who just speak that way too, and it was like, oh my, that foot was in the wrong position. It's like he literally could dissect a performance, and of course he was right because he knew everything because he had done things, and he was watching people who could do things that he never could back in the late 40s and early 50s. So
he's actually quite lucky that he probably wasn't killed in 1961 when they had another plane crash that wiped out the entire U.S. figure skating team in Europe. I don't know whether you guys even know about that, but
I mean, it's all part of the odd thing about at the same time kind of thing. But Dick Button was 95. Okay.
Yeah, he was a geezer. Yeah.
And he had been ill for some period of time. So there's that. But I would be remiss because he was a great figure skater in the day, way back before my time. But a real fun announcer to listen to because he I knew nothing about skating, and I would listen to him and I would, learn the names of the moves that they were making until the moves became so sophisticated. Who could keep up with it all? I mean,
know your flips from your sock house. My older sister was into ice skating in the late 60s, early 70s. So she ended up, there's like 9, and that was back when you actually had to do figures, the figure eights where you had to like scroll out on the ice, and that was like half of your score. You had to actually scroll out a figure eight. And she ended up going up like 5th through the 9 tests. And when she went to university, she took ice skating for 1 quarter, and she was actually at a higher level than her instructor. So they kind of like let her teach the class almost. It's quite funny.
And Ron Shane is pointing out that he's absolutely
Ty Jerome.
Yeah, Ty Jerome. And I don't know what happened here. There's something going on.
Oh no, you got like you got like the Brady Bunch screen up there with 3 equal sized rectangles instead of just the full moo with the tiny rectangles.
Well, it's not showing me that.
Well, if you look on YouTube,
some changes to this. Yeah, that is really strange.
Yeah, do you have the YouTube turned on now?
Let me try this. How about now?
Yeah, that's normal. That's the normal screen.
Yeah, that's a lot better.
Yeah, I did this earlier and it flipped out on me. So who knows? But yeah, Ty Jerome is like unbelievable. This guy's only making, and I say only making 2.65 million, but by NBA
That's
standards,
a bargain.
he's on poverty row. And
Right.
this guy is so much better. I mean, I got to be honest with you. When I would talk with my friend who passed away, Ben Starcher, we would both kind of scratch our heads and say, and it was last year because he was out the whole year with the injury. Was like, what is it that they see in this guy? Because he doesn't have any hops, he's not particularly fast, and he doesn't have proof that he's a great shooter either. Well, whatever it was, this injury took him to the next level because he came back really serious. And I will tell you that he is such an important player for this team. He's coming off the bench earlier now, and he's scoring the points and more points than what Karis LeVert would.
Yeah, he is. Absolutely.
And he's a better ball handler, and he's a better passer, and he sets up the offense better. So now there's a lot more talk about whether Karis LeVert is being waived, as far as in front of teams as trade bait.
Well, I don't know, but the thing about Jerome is that he's almost like the straw that's stirring the drink at the moment. He's like almost like Rajon Rondo out there, just doing a little bit of everything.
He's finding his way into the paint when a big guy's not there. They have to respect Mobley and Allen being in the game, and so the big guy going to float where Mobley goes, for example. And if that lane is open, he goes in there, and it's the funniest thing. He doesn't do it quickly. He doesn't do it with great verticality, but he knows how to use his body. And I've seen him do it driving to the basket as well. He uses his shoulder and his body angle to ward off shot blockers.
Yep. He very rarely gets blocked.
He shoots the ball sometimes on his way down.
Yeah.
Other times he pulls up and he uses the backboard really well. And he strips balls from people from behind. He's a thief. He's like a pickpocket. And he has meant the world to this team. Yeah. And maybe the reason that Karis LeVert would be moved so that would enable the Cavaliers to perhaps do something and add a player that they feel that they need to add on the front line, who's, because we can't live with backup Tristan Thompson. That's not going to cut it.
Yeah, is he still in the league?
He's still in the league. Yeah.
Still no. I mean, they should retire his jersey. I mean,
so he's doing like Udonis Haslem then.
He's not doing a lot.
So now we're halfway through the show, and I'm not going to tell you that there's another half of a show left because
probably is.
I don't know how long this is going to last, but the inconsistency of things makes me wonder about so many things. And now we get the news that Justin Tucker has Deshaun Watson. Okay?
Yep.
And the thing that makes me wonder about all of this, the timing of it, the fact that he can't kick as well as he used to, and
that's interesting. And it's the end of their season too.
End of their season. And is this the league stepping in so that the Ravens can get an advantage as far as letting a washed up kicker go? Here's the thing that makes me wonder. I'm going back. You do some digging with your hooves and you go back and you find something on the internet, on Reddit, and I could share this screen with you too. And so you can read it. So you don't know I'm not just making this shit up. All right. Here we go. All right. You have the ability to read this?
No, I don't see any screen sharing going on.
Me
Now
neither.
you will. Now you will.
Oh, I do now.
Yeah, I see it now.
You are
Right.
viewing a single comments thread.
Yep.
Yes.
Somebody named Optimus/RE.
Yes.
And this was a year ago. A girl I went to high school with is a massage therapist and put on Facebook a few months ago that Justin Tucker is no different than Deshaun Watson. And she
Wow.
wouldn't cave into Tucker's demands of jerk-offs and asshole fingering, so she was basically told to leave. The massage studio told her they go with it because of the money involved, and that's how they can actually make a good living.
Wow.
If Justin Tucker is getting weekly handies and finger popped and forcing women, then I'm sure there's even worse with these NFL guys.
Wow. And this
So-
is what from, is that right? Like March 18th, 2023?
Wow.
That's grim, man. Yeah, and
How
I
long
won't
did
make
they
that up.
No, it's right up there. And it's like somebody didn't just throw a dart at a board and hit a bullseye out of the blue. I mean, he knew the person who it happened to. And there are 6 women who have come forward. But there's a difference in this than Deshaun Watson. All right. And I'm going to go ahead
Probably
and
the asshole fingering first.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That would be one of the things that's different, Bronk. And I would trust you to. How can you stay serious around here?
Well, anyway.
At any rate,
Let's say it again. Asshole fingering. There you go. I got it on my
asshole finger, yeah. But the 6 women who worked in different places, not in one place, these women not working as Instagram call girls, okay?
Wow.
Let's be real clear about this.
Hey, girls
These
gotta make money, you know.
These folks were working at established wellness centers, right?
Oh, what, like legit places, like LEGIT places.
Like, I would say, stop by one of our great locations, and I'm going to share this screen with you as well. This is one of the places. Did this thing got a balk on me? All right,
This is going to be inadvertent advertising for anybody who lives in the area.
Yep.
You have the money. You too can get asshole fingered.
All right. This is the name of the wellness center.
Wow.
4 locations in the
Yes.
greater Baltimore area. 4 different ones that he could have chosen from to get fingered.
Damn.
Freddie got fingered.
Those are
was just
great
about to say
names.
that.
Berry Hills, Cockeysville. That's fantastic.
What did you say, Stephen?
I was just about to say that, but you beat me to it.
Well, I mean, it's
Freddie got fingered.
yeah, right.
Why don't you ring up? Back in the old days, you'd ring one of those places up and ask for an appointment. Back in the
Well, and at the time,
why don't these guys just go to the strip club instead of going to the massage parlor?
of course they do that too. Are they having fun?
yeah, of course. I mean, this is just one place that they're doing. I mean, these are people who are not doing this as a one-off. I mean, so
Wow.
here you go. You've got the location in Stevenson, which is formerly located in Pikesville. And this is where one of the accusers worked, was when they were located in Pikesville. Okay. And the stories are almost identical And the difference is that they're licensed people.
Wow.
They were working in licensed businesses. They're not just these people on Instagram who are just chasing down people. This is worse.
Wow.
But no, they don't have a celebrity Busby guy who's their attorney who has access to 47 million pieces of media. Or is it the Ravens? We want to keep this quiet.
It's the Ravens.
It's off the front page of ESPN.
Damn.
You know that by now, the squad cars were piling up around Deshaun's house. I mean, and I'm not going to tell you, I don't give a shit about Deshaun Watson. He's gone. He's finished. His career's done. It's over
any
with.
of us. Yeah.
But all of the crap that you read on Twitter, where's Rich Eisen? That fucking bald fuck. Where is he? I don't see him talking about the white guy who does it, the self-proclaimed Catholic. We don't hear about that, do we? Unreal.
Well, the corruption in the league is just, beyond the pale, really. But asshole fingering is now going to be the name of my junior high school band, as Ziffles would say.
Well, I mean, what I can tell you is the BaltimoreBanner.com. They are reporting on this, and
good for them.
Yeah, and it's this is a guy who extolled his Catholic faith.
Oh, he didn't do a Harrison Butker, did he? Like saying what a wonderful Christian he is to a bunch of school kids.
That's what they all do.
Wow.
Filling the Baltimore Basilica with his classically trained bass baritone.
Wow.
And staging a dramatic proposal to his now wife on the roof of the Four Seasons. What a guy. He's been a spokesman for the Royal Farms convenience store chain since 2015. And you want to know? A year after he married that woman, he was still doing this in massage parlors. So much for that special dramatic proposal. Yeah, he gave her a ring and gave someone else his asshole.
Oh, dear.
I know. Lord Almighty.
Have a breath there. Take a breath for a minute.
Go to Twitter.
Wow.
See how much it is. I'm feeding back, Steven. You got to shut that down because that sounds horrible. Yeah, go to Twitter. Go ahead and see how, if it's every other post. No. And the Ravens are like, oh, what a convenient time for the league to find out.
Yeah, right before
we don't need to bring him back. And we're going to get some compensation from the league.
Do you think that's why he had the yips this year? Was that was all ready to spill out and you didn't know when it was going to happen?
Possibly. You just there's a lot of conclusions you could possibly come to.
I'm going to go with that because that really appeals to my sort of warped sensibilities. That's why he sucked this year, was because he was getting sucked.
I make this face. That face. You know what that face is?
It's the millionaire Thurston Howell III.
That's right. It's
yes,
Thurston
I know.
Howell the third.
Lovey. We're on this island, and we might as well make the best of it.
Bleach my asshole. Oh God! Yeah, something. I was there, Rick, and I got in and out, and in and out, and in and out, and in and out.
Yeah.
real fast.
Oh, well, this is a typical Friday show, isn't it, really?
No, I mean, there's such double standards in the league that it's cuckoo.
Well, it's again, I mean, everything is like profoundly corrupt now that you don't even know where to turn, It's unbelievable.
Yeah, well, so at any rate, we'll see if anyone picks up the ball and runs with this, or if it's like, all right, he's Caucasian, leave him alone. We'll see. We'll see.
Actually, I would have expected this to happen to somebody like Harrison Butker, or somebody a little bit more famous than Justin Tucker. I mean, maybe that's the reason why it's not like splashed over the news, because
you know what's
he's
funny
not quite
about
as famous.
But wait a minute, I gotta take a sip of water to do the voice. Wait. Why is it that the kicker whose name starts with "but" wasn't the one getting fingered?
Exactly. And why is it?
Oh boy.
Oh, you got to do John Madden doing the fingering move here. And here he is, drops the towel. Boom.
Yeah. Kind of going around the outside here, going around in circles. And then boom, right down the drain. It's not funny, but it's amazing how our players get elbowed in the face and nothing happens, and our players do this and get drummed out of the league, and they're the source of national negative publicity.
International spite.
Yep.
There are people hating on Watson in Europe, man.
And where's Rich Eisen?
Oh.
We have to give this time to find out. Yeah, he didn't give the other one time.
You know who he reminds me of? He reminds me of the old Batman villain, Mr. Freeze. That's who he looks like.
I don't know him. I'll have to look him up.
Look up Mr. Freeze.
And then we have the NFL. All right, who proudly puts out a headline. You ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
Concussions decreased to historic low in 2024 NFL season.
Oh, they're just not counting us.
Out of ourselves.
Wow.
The National Football League announced today an injury data for the 2024 season showing that concussions to a historic low. Now, what kind of history?
What does that mean?
How many years of history have they recorded?
5.
What a bunch of something, they need to be fingered. A 17% reduction compared to the 2023 season, including all practices and games in both the preseason and regular season.
And 20 of those were Denzel Ward just by himself. So, there was that. Largest
safety improvement in helmets worn on field since 2021. There's only been 2.
2. Wow.
Continued reduction in lower extremity strains. We didn't see that in Cleveland. It's like soft tissue injuries. What statistics are you looking at? My God. 17% down and 12% compared to the 2021 through 2023 season average, where they were forced to keep track because of CTE. All right. We'll get to that in just a moment.
Okay.
And they say that their ability to identify and evaluate concussions has improved. No, it hasn't. It's that the press was bad and they had to do something about it.
Yeah.
Other important factors in this season's reduction include the largest safety improvement in helmets worn on the field since 2021. Yeah, that stupid, goofy helmet didn't help JOK, did it?
No, he's not okay. He's very hurt. He's not okay.
Today's an important milestone, but not the end of our work, said Jeff Miller, NFL sellout vice president overseeing player health and safety. Through improved equipment, rules modifications, and a continued culture change, we will make the game safer and more exciting. Now, not as exciting as Justin Tucker would like it to be, but exciting.
You know whose voice you should use for reading that? John Facenda, the old guy from NFL Films. That'd be
I
the
wish I
perfect
could
voice.
do Facenda's voice.
Wouldn't that would have been a great voice to read that. No,
nobody can get down to. I mean, it's impossible. He had this resonance, and they also had a unit that they were using, an audio.
Oh
unit.
yeah. That sort of beefed them up a bit.
Oh yeah. I mean, Avalon is the name of the company. If you want to look it up, it's really kind of cool. They're processors, and they just add this incredible
harmonics to your voice. Yeah.
Oh, it's just amazing. And of course, get this: the new dynamic kickoff rule worked as intended. Returns increased 57% in the regular season. There were 7 kickoffs returned for touchdowns, the most since 2021. The new rule slowed the average player speeds as intended, which led to a lower concussion rate, down 43%, and the fewest lower extremity strains on the play, kickoffs, since 2018.
Wow.
God almighty. And you know something? They won't talk about CTE because
they'll get sued.
They're the primary cause of it. God almighty. Oh, there's Tony the Calf. What's he saying?
It's a fair question, actually. Oh my God.
I'm not so sure it was just a finger. I think it could have been a dick.
Somebody likes it up the poop chute. They like it up the poop chute. Just saying.
Yeah, good old Bobby Brown with a spindle up his butt.
Liberation when sweeping across the nation. Frank Zappa, the late Frank Zappa.
Old young people, look up Frank Zappa and Bobby Brown and see if you can find it on YouTube.
But I knew I wasn't ready when I met this dyke by the name of Freddie. God, I am the American dream with a spindle up my butt till it makes me scream. And I'm a miserable son of a bitch. Am I a guy or a girl? I don't know which.
Yeah, jingling your change.
Yeah, God almighty. I mean, that was a real song.
That was a real song. Look it up.
You don't
Frank
think I made
Zappa,
that up
Bobby
off the top
Brown.
of my head? I didn't do that.
No, you didn't.
Myron Cope.
Oh, he's dead though, so
that's true. We can talk about Myron Cope. You know what's funny about it?
What's funny?
One of the accusations was worse than Deshaun Watson. That when the women left the room and said, "We're not doing this for you, Justin," while they were gone, he jerked off on the table.
Did he really?
There was cum on the table. Yeah.
Oh,
this is all. Look it up. It's all there.
No, I'll take your word for it. I don't have to.
Yeah.
Life's too short to be researching that. That's why we leave things like this to you to do.
So Myron Cope, what is the significance of that?
The women were forced to clean it up with a terrible towel.
Yeah, that's like a turducken, really, isn't it? A turducken.
We bring back all this terrible stuff. Yeah, I mean, yeah. And one woman was questioned, and she goes, "Look, I know the difference between massage oils and semen."
Wow.
And just to make sure, I tasted it. No, she didn't say that.
Yeah.
Oh, at any rate.
This has been an epic show today. This is like top 10 of 2025. This is like the best show of 2025 right here.
Yeah, that's
Ever since we can do the NFL, like ever since 2024, this has been the best show.
Yeah, and as far as JOK is concerned, nobody is pontificating from the Browns front office about what exactly happened. So I'm just going to put my 2 cents worth in before I leave here today. Now, I haven't seen any imaging. I don't know. But what I do know is with neck injuries in general, you have spinal compression.
Oh, God, yeah.
And if the amount of space that you
it's
have
not a lot. I've seen it myself. It's
between
not a lot.
the discs in the neck and the back, which get eroded over time with with arthritis and things of that nature. When you have a head impact that accordionized the neck, if he has diminished space between his vertebrae in his neck, he will never play again.
He shouldn't play again. Yeah.
Now, I don't know whether that's the case, but when this minimal clarity, as they're calling it, that they're having about this injury, he's walking around, he's talking, he's fine. I personally don't think that JOK is going to play football again. And it's a sad thing because it's his, now he did at least re-up with the Browns, but so he's going to get paid. But to have such a promising player have his career stripped from him at such an early time in his life when he was really developing into a fine player, it's got to be hard on him, but they can't risk, him hitting like that. So, Tony's helping us out here in the chat room. Oh my God, I know. You know what's so funny? The word scat.
Yeah.
Here, if you go just a little bit south of me into Sarasota, Florida, every bus says scat on it.
Is that their area transit? Sarasota area transit or
Sarasota County Authority Transit. Now, why would they do that?
Why would they? I don't know.
I don't know. God, the buses stink. Sounds like Tucker missed wide right as opposed to hitting the upright. No, it was right down the middle, Rick.
Boink.
Yeah, and there we have our South Park reference. Oh God!
You know what he needs if this goes to court? He needs the Chewbacca defense.
I don't know what in the world. I mean, it's like walking into the locker room like you had a finger up your ass. How many times? I mean, it's like, hey. All right. Well, I've done what I said I was going to do.
And a bit more, too, because I encouraged you.
But the double standards in sports are getting worse and worse. The number of teams that are real contenders, less and less.
Yeah.
People are screaming about the Kansas City Chiefs, and the Kansas City Chiefs didn't do anything. They're not a dirty team. Just because their tight end, who isn't tight in the sense of a finger going up his butt, is with a
pop
star, right? And so now there's this. Oh, it's the fixes in anyone who plays the Chiefs, and they don't realize that the Steelers have been cheated for decades, and that.
Oh God, yeah. There are teams more egregious than the Chiefs out there.
That the Ravens and their dirty play, they get away with it all the time. So, there are no standards in professional sports. Guys getting elbowed in the face, and it depends what the call is, depending on what city they're playing in. In the case of at least Indiana got Isaiah Beef Stew out of the game.
There should really be a flagrant 3 call, though, that is so egregious that you get suspended straight away.
Yeah, but
anyway,
I don't make the rules, but I am
Neither
not going to
do
shut
I.
up. I'm not going to shut up about it because nobody else will even talk about this stuff
because
They'd rather
they
get
all paid. They're all paid to
Yes,
talk sports,
they
don't
get,
want to go here.
and people want attention by saying it's all being done by cheating the Chiefs. Every team that has lost to the Chiefs had a legitimate chance to win.
And they didn't.
And they didn't. This team has pulled out a lot of close games. And look, to sit there and say, well, they get more favorable calls. Well, so do the Ravens, so do the Steelers. And in basketball, so do the Lakers, and so do the Knicks. And, on and on. So do the Golden State Warriors, and on and on and on. It's like that in every sport. The strike zone is bigger for the New York Yankees.
Correct.
I mean, it's that way in every fucking sport. So why is everybody getting so upset about Kansas City?
Because of Taylor Swift.
Because of politics. And it's ridiculous. So now another team will have an opportunity to get the job done against the Chiefs. And people are saying that the Eagles were a better team. Well,
I'm saying that.
Prove it on the field, and that's it. I mean, that's, whether you determine the team's better or not is how they perform on the big day. So, all right. Yeah, Rick is like, hey, Rick, I wanted to ask you, what town, if you don't mind letting me know, what town are you in Ohio? What's the name of the little town you're in? I forget. I was told this once, I believe. I know it's west of where I am when I'm there. I just concluded my arrival
Bellevue.
flight.
Yeah, that's Bellevue, Lexington. That's just south of Mansfield.
Oh, okay. All right.
Where Mid-Ohio is, the racetrack.
Yeah.
The other side is 71. So Lexington is on the west side and Bellevue's on the other side.
Rick, how far are you? How far are you from the Amish country as you go south from Mansfield? How far are you from? I'm trying to think of what areas, because really that goes by a different area.
Yeah, it's more
west,
more hillbilly down there.
Yeah, a little west. Amish. Like, yeah. All right. Thanks, Rick. I appreciate it. But yeah, I'm going to be back in Ohio on the 21st of April for what that's worth. But I just determined that, and getting everything squared away as far as doggy transport too.
No, I actually think there's a different Bellevue. There's two. There's Belleville and Bellevue, which is where Rick's from. That's up by Norwalk and
he's up by Sandusky.
Yeah, I'm confusing Belleville with Bellevue. So yeah, he's up by Norwalk.
So Rick, you could go to Cedar Point anytime you want to.
Go to Cedar Point.
All right, cool. I'm not going to tell you the story of how a girlfriend of mine in college and I went to Cedar Point and trashed a hotel room in Sandusky. It'll be for another time.
Yeah.
And it was another place for sure. Hi, Christopher. Getting here for the replay, I see. Everybody, thanks a lot.
So you didn't get corkscrewed on the corkscrew then, huh?
It was after, it was like you play at the park and you play afterwards, and those were the good old days,
Yeah, the 70s, man.
Yeah,
what a clusterfuck.
It wasn't like, something, I'm going to Cedar Point with my girlfriend, and then afterwards I'm going to the hospital with AIDS. It wasn't like that.
Yeah, it wasn't like that.
It was a different time, folks.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thanks a lot for joining me on this episode of Moohead Radio. We'll be back again on Monday. And the Cavaliers are playing next on Sunday. So let's see.
Sunday, Dragway 42.
If you're going to do it right. You gotta,
Sunday. Oh, you got to do it. Put the echo on.
Sunday, thrill the nation's leading funny cars at Dragway 42. All right. That hurts to do that. It really
hurts.
does.
Yeah, it does. I'm not surprised.
All right. Thanks again, Bronk, for joining me. And we'll
Great
see you
show
probably
today.
again on Monday, I hope. And
Woo!
John, if you're still out there, let me know what in the hell's going on. Until next time, hasta la vista, Pasture Heads. Good night.
Bad.